So what did you say happened to him?
His mom was dead. He's got a gash on the side. We managed to heal that. And it's a place called Aloe between All Days and Vivo. And we went there to go and have a cappuccino. And the lady had a knock oppie. He fell out of the roof. And they've been managed to look after him, and she said her husband won't allow it. So I said, give it to us because we've managed to look after so many animals,
Yes.
but we need to get him to a center.
And little Bobby? Hi.
I'm not too sure if it's all there.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just the look in the eyes, the behavior that tells you something's not all right. You're not too sure if it's the trauma that they've went through or what actually happened in its life. But this little chap or this little girl, we were really worried about initially because it does look like she has some brain trauma. You can just see her behavior and reactions don't seem quite the same as what a fully healthy little monkey would be. So in the beginning we were very worried about her.
I know, right?
If she had just lost her mom recently, she would have been more concerned about trying to escape and things like that. So she seems very comfortable with herself and with her surroundings. She doesn't seem frightened, which means she's probably had human care for a little bit longer than what we know. But she still doesn't seem fully aware of what's really going on.
It's dangerous being cameraman.
Do you remember me?
Meeting all the other little orphans is normally like a very big thing, but for Luna didn't really seem to trouble her too much. Give them a little sniff to see what they are. Evidently look the same as her. So still in the cage here we have Martini, Little G, are still around, Ellie, Maddox, Renee and Button. So all of them are still there that she's just meeting initially and seeing how they get on. But as you can see, she doesn't really seem too concerned about them at all. She's quick to jump back over to her caregiver, and that's probably because she's a little bit more humanized than normal. This is of course little G, trying to become friends and seeing who she is and introducing her to the enclosure. So meeting all the other orphans helps to give them a little bit of confidence and let them know they are safe and the other monkeys are all fine and things like this. So it just helps them settle in a lot easier. And some of them it works pretty well. Others have a harder time. But it seemed to go pretty well with Luna. She seems to be getting her coordination back again, but she does struggle a little bit and does move kind of strangely, but she seems to be coping okay. As we've mentioned before, the feeding cage is probably the most important, and she didn't seem to have any problem getting in and out and finding her milk and drinking and feeding herself.
Tini, what are you doing? Get your fresh face out of my face.
So it's just slightly over a month now, and Luna's been taken down to the James intro cage. James is a much smaller enclosure and more personal type of enclosure, but with Luna's behavior, we thought she'd probably fit in here a lot better and probably get on with the other monkeys a lot easier. She certainly seemed to be enjoying the enclosure and getting around without any problems. Wasn't really too much interaction between her and the troop as such, although she did have a look at them and watch them and things, but she did keep her distance. So, but otherwise she was jumping around, doing fairly well. Nothing too concerned about. She was getting her coordination in a lot better, which was the main thing, and things seemed to be progressing fairly fast. So Brianni and Aisha were let into the cage, but as you can see, Luna sort of disappeared and kept her distance from them. So no interaction. Moms are playing a very nice role. They haven't gone out to frighten her or anything.
No.
So they're just eating the seeds on the floor. But as you can see, Luna is very apprehensive of them. She is a bit scared and keeping her distance. And if they come close, she sort of moves to the far side of the enclosure. This can also be signs that she lost her mum at a very young age, so she doesn't really associate herself as a monkey because she's very scared of them. It can happen in the complete opposite. If they're a lot older and they lose their mother, they can be scared of other troops because of, other troops will attack or troops fight each other. So it could be either scenario. But I think in this case it was that she lost her mom at a very young age, and she's probably been with people a lot longer than we knew, and therefore she doesn't really know what monkeys are. So it takes a lot of patience and care from both sides. The person letting the monkeys in has to be careful who they let in to interact, and then hopefully if we do get the right monkey in these cases like Brianni, they know how to work with the little babies, and they don't rush onto them and force themselves on. So it's a game where the mums that have done it before, sometimes they just seem to have this feeling within themselves that they've got to hold back and sort of let the baby come to them. Sometimes there's also caution, because if they just pick up a wild baby somewhere, they could get attacked by the mother. So there is a little bit of an apprehension in the beginning when they first meet the little babies, because they look around to see there's no mom. And once they see everything safe, then of course they will start approaching slowly. You can see how scared Luna is. She's hanging around on the feeding cage because she knows she can basically run inside there and hide from them, and it's a little place of safety. So the whole time she is watching them. You can see her whole body posture, the way the tail and everything is kind of straight and things like this, that she's not really too happy. She's trying to put on a brave face, and that's normally when they put their tails up. Means they're very confident. So she's trying her best to show she's a brave little monkey, but of course isn't really confident. She's a bit scared of these two. So you'll watch her probably go and hide in the feeding cage just to keep away from them while she builds up her confidence. As she came out of the feeding cage, one of the moms approached her, and of course that's given her a bit of a fright, so she's run out of reach and very scared and just watching them at the moment. The mom's also just watching her. They haven't run to approach or anything, just looking at her up in the corner and saying, "Hey, silly thing, soon you're going to be in our arms."
Liza and Luna have been talking, but Luna still stays out of the way for now. But she's much, much calmer with a smaller monkey in.
So it's all little steps, not hastily, and slowly they try and close the distance between them and the little baby, building up the confidence and showing that they're not really a threat. So it's quite amazing how the monkeys know that they've got to be careful and calm. You also notice kind of her behavior now compared to when she first arrived. She's a lot more alert and aware of her surroundings and what's actually going on and paying attention to things. So normally she could have had head trauma either for some reason when she fell out the tree from a mom, or there might have been a motor vehicle accident, and this affects them for a little while. And as I say, they're not quite there in the beginning. But as you can see, it's improved quite dramatically now. She seems to have all her coordination, all her wits about her, and she certainly knows what's going on.
This is Aisha. So she left and then she came back again.
After a while, little Luna broke down, and fortunately a very nice foster mom came in called Emblem, which Luna seemed to accept, and the two of them are getting on very, very well, and we think that Emblem is possibly going to be taking Luna out into the main enclosure. So that's the next big event we're waiting for, is just to see how these two get on and see if she will take her out into the enclosure. Well, isn't that amazing to see, from a scared little monkey, scared of everybody else, turning around, giving her mom a big hug, and yeah, it really is great to see how these little guys change and accept their mothers. Well, there we have Emblem all ready to go, waiting for them just to open the door and take little Luna out into the big open enclosure. Moms are super happy to have a little baby, and everyone's going to start coming over and having a look and everything like this. But it's like they get all proud and want to show off this little thing that they've just picked up or found. So it is quite unbelievable.
Here we've got Emblem with Luna on her belly. Aisha is super interested as well. She comes over to groom, and Brianni is following her as well.
can see how little Luna's like built up a bit of confidence. So this is a week or two later, so she's not clinging onto her mom or emblem so much, and is foraging, but sticking close to mom, because basically that's her safety. But at least she's getting around and foraging on her own and seeing how things go.
Here we have Brianni, the alpha female, grooming Luna. Luna's very scared of Brianni because she's a big fluffy female, but she's being forced into this groom. Emblem's just sitting beside them. Luna's trying to escape. And here we have Gabe, our baby from last year, having a little hug with Luna. And Luna's back with Mum, but Brianni just stole her again. And there's Emblem moving away for a well-needed break from baby. Didn't last long.
So you can see the change in little Luna, really devoted to Emblem now, and recognizes Emblem as her mom. Is still scared of other monkeys, so she's still got to build a lot of confidence up from there. Although she does let them groom her now and again, but she always goes to mom for a little bit of support. Mom's not quite as high ranking, so she will lose her now and again. But fortunately, little Luna's strong enough to get away from the others and keep on running back to her mother.
Quick update on Luna. This is day 6 since her release in the troop. Still with Mama Emblem, of course, always together. And for a change, Brianni nowhere to be seen. So the excitement honeymoon period's wearing off. She's been in the trip for 6 days now, so finally getting a bit of space as the trip settles down again. And you can see she's nice and relaxed, enjoying main feed.
In James' troop, we have here Luna with her foster mom emblem. She's also doing amazing in troop. She thinks she's an alpha. Just 5 minutes ago, I saw her slapping a other female, adult female, because she wasn't grooming her enough.
What a complete change in nature from the scared, frightened little animal that came in the beginning to a very little confident juvenile now, running around, taking her own, picking on others.
She is
So it is
eyebrowing
actually
me.
quite unbelievable. So it's just great to see how, you know, how they transform from what she came in as, that we're all worried about her state of mind and everything like this. Now she's out here, she's confident, her little face is going black. She's getting on with all the members in the troop. She's not just sticking to emblem. She's playing with the other monkeys. So it's, you know, it's really great to see this transition and how they change from what they started off as.
In James' troop, we have Luna enjoying a big bit of corn. You can see by her mustache.
No, it's not the same corn cob, but just shows you how confident she is, knocking at the camera and things like this. Very, very brave. Also how big she's gotten over that period of time. She's almost the same size as Gabe, and true little member of the troop now. I'm not sure if you all noticed the difference in coloration of the enclosures. So it used to be nice and green for summer. We're in the middle of winter here at the moment, so that's why it all looks so bland and dry. Still small enough to fit in the hole to get her milk, and of course this goes on for a full year to make sure they get all the nutrition that they basically need. Thanks again everybody for watching. It's a tremendous amount of support that we've got out there. People contributing to our crowdfunding on Just Giving, monthly donations through PayPal, the new members coming in on Patreon. All of this is helping and making a big difference. Thanks for clicking on the adverts and watching them. If you do have friends that don't like monkeys, just get them to watch the YouTube channel. They don't have to watch it themselves. Just put it on play. Even that will help us quite a bit. So thanks everybody. Till next time. We'll see you next week. Thank you.